Good morning. We're in Romans chapter 3 verses 1 to 8 this morning. I hope that as you listen to my thoughts, you get to appreciate our lovely 1980s wallpaper in our bedroom. Now, this is a passage I would say is more like a chew on a steak than a suck on a Farley's rusk, if you know what I mean. It requires some thinking about some of these verses, as many of Paul's writings do, but that's good for us. It's good to apply our brain, I'm told. So next thing to say, I think, is just some of the arguments that Paul makes in these verses are things that I rarely consider. Let me read out verse 7. Paul says, "If my falsehood enhances God's truthfulness and increases God's glory, then why am I still condemned as a sinner?" Paul starts that sentence saying, someone may ask this. Not me. No, I'm not one of those people that have asked that question. But there is a time and a place for looking at the content of the gospel in great detail and making sure that we understand the gospel and we are clear on it and we can express it to others. What do I take from these 8 verses that we're looking at this morning? Well, it seems to me from the language that's being used, there are 2 sides that are being described here. There's a holy God and the unholiness of mankind without Christ. There is the faithfulness of God and the unfaithfulness of the Jews. There's the righteousness of God and the unrighteousness of mankind. There's the truthfulness of God and falsehood of mankind is described. There is God in his glory against the fallen mankind that seems to be on the other side of a chasm that no one can bridge. And no amount of self-help or self-improvement gets to cross that chasm, does it? We are separated, alienated from God in our raw state. Why am I condemned as a sinner? It says in verse 7, well, the most simple answer to that question would be because I am a sinner. Outside of Christ, I'm a sinner and I deserve to be condemned. But the good news is we don't get condemned. Christ took our place. But you, like me, get to rejoice in the salvation that we have come to know, and our neighbours and our friends and our family and those outside of Christ, those people in the bay that we live and work amongst and want to reach out to, are people that they too need saving. They too need forgiveness of their sins and of their guilt and of their shame. They too need adoption to a Father in heaven that loves them and wants to embrace them and wants to bring them into the family of God. If there are 2 things I think that we could take away from this for this morning, I would say, 1, let's relish the salvation that is ours, that's been given rich and free to us. And secondly, let's pray for opportunities to express, for the right language. This is a lot of churchy, religious, theological, Christian language, but people out there in the world, they don't know it. We know what it means, but they don't. We need to pray for opportunities to speak the simple truth of the mystery of God, that he loves us and that he loves them and he wants them saved and added to his beautiful church. Those are a few thoughts of mine. Have a good day.